Funny story. I was talking to my best friend, someone I grew up with, known him since we were in fifth grade, and we were talking about my YouTube videos today. and funny enough, he was happy with the fact that my recent videos have been longer than the previous ones. So I'm gonna pivot. I apologize. I know I said that I'm gonna make these a little shorter, but I think I'm just gonna keep them longer for now until the overwhelming majority says, "Hey, dude, they're too long." Then I'll bring it down. But it's not entirely just his input. His son is my godson, and he was watching it and was like, "Whoa, hey, Nick, how does Nick YouTube?" And like it sparked up a conversation between my homie and his son, and it was just, for me, that was a really cool thing to hear about, and I like that, right? It gives me a really, really good feeling. It makes me feel really, really positive about what I'm doing, and it just solidifies that we should just keep this going. On that note, in trying to figure out what I was going to talk about today, in looking at the list, I kind of have mixed feelings about the list that I made now, because it becomes more of like a thing to pick. And now it's like, oh, well, what do I pick? Do I pick this? Do I pick this? And I might be overthinking it, right? Paralysis by overanalysis. But I had to just kind of put it aside real quick and come into it with a fresh mind. And I was at the groceries today, and I saw someone picking up a bag of groceries, and I was like, hey, that's got to be something I could talk about, right? So today we are talking about functional fitness and building strength for real life movements. And what I mean by that is movements that are involved in quite literally your everyday life. So the top three things, right? I was looking for the benefits, types of exercises, and any downsides, right? The good news is there aren't really any downsides to doing exercises that mimic real life movements. There's quite literally only benefits. It enhances your efficiency in your daily tasks, from lifting groceries to lifting or moving furniture to climbing up stairs if you were carrying stuff. Like I have two stories here in my condo, and I've had to carry some pretty heavy stuff up those stairs, the standing desk included. I'd like to give it a try now. I feel like, because before I used to struggle. I might still struggle now, but it's a struggle bringing these things up these stairs sometimes, especially because of the logistics aspect of it. It's not very wide, so you have to angle some things. But enough of that. Additionally, we're going to call it functional fitness, right? Functional fitness obviously prevents injuries like, me climbing up those stairs, because it builds strength. It builds strength and flexibility to be able to safeguard you against any possible injuries that you could get from doing, I guess we can call it like hazardous things like that. And then it also increases your range of motion, or it keeps it rather in check, or it keeps it fully operable, because as they say, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? As a dancer, for example, like if we didn't stretch, the rule of thumb was we would lose about 1 centimeter a day in how wide we could do that stretch if we didn't stretch for that day. Yeah. And I remembered that thing like a hawk. It was nailed to the back of my head, and I stretched every day. But some variations of, or some exercise variations that we could do that mimic real life movements are, you know, squat variations, anything that requires you like getting down and picking something up, which is sort of like a leg press. You could also do lunge variations to mimic going upstairs. If you are already climbing stairs, you might as well, well, what I was thinking of was, you know, double climb the stairs or climb in twos, and that could be your lunge variation exercise, using the stairs as your exercise apparatus, I guess I'll call it. Deadlifts, because anytime you're picking up, say, like a coffee table or a fridge or something off of the floor that you might be using your back for, you definitely want to do deadlifts, especially if you're if you're a little older like myself. After 30s, man, you feel like your body just starts disintegrating. There's push-ups as well as pull-ups or rows, and then there's also what we call the farmer's walk, which is as if you've seen No Content's comment, where he has almost 60 pounds per gal or per jug of kitty litter that he says he farmer walks. A farmer walk is, I mean, just as it sounds, you pick up two heavy objects with each one of your arms and you carry it sort of like grocery bags and you walk. Very, very, very tough exercise if you actually like put some weight on each arm. It is pretty hard, man, because it also requires your legs, because you're walking, your upper body's just getting literally drained because of the weight on each arm. It's if anyone has gone hiking or camping, volunteer to carry all of the picnic stuff, like if there's a mat for the floor, if there's food, or if there's chairs, umbrellas, or anything like that, a cooler. Volunteer to carry all of that to the end of the hike, and that is a farmer's walk or a farmer's carry. Might be either or. I think both are sort of synonymous to each other. They both work. I didn't do any farmer's walks today, though, for my workouts, speaking of which. But I did hit a new high with the lat pull down, so I was pretty stoked about that. And today we did the incline presses for 40 reps. I also hit a high with the incline press. I finally got up to plates, which are 45 pounds on each side. I was using the machine for inclines because I don't have a spotter, or I haven't had a spotter recently, and I do want to try to go heavy, but it's one of my weakest movements, or one of the movements that I'm weakest in terms of like any kind of chest press, if not the weakest. So I always try to stay a little more cautious with that particular movement. But today I decided to just give it a try, and I went on the bench with the bar. I warmed up with just the bar, just to see how it felt first, just to see if I needed to adjust anything, and I made that happen. It felt good. I did 25s, and then I moved it to 35s, and then eventually I was like, you know what? Let's give this a try. Let's give plates a try. I couldn't do the full 10 in one set, so I had to do like 5 and 5, but it ended up working out for us. And for the lat pull downs, I also moved up to the big boy weight of 143. I did that for 10 reps. The leg press for 40 reps, calf raises for 40 reps, sit-ups, I did 45 total reps, a body weight set of 15, and then 3 sets of 10 with 10 pounds. Side lateral raise for 40 reps and the back extensions for 40 reps. For food and water, I am at 6 out of 8 pints of water so far. And for food, I have a sandwich right there that I'm gonna finish. It was a full sandwich, so that whole thing is about like 1,800 calories and about 80 grams of protein. So that's 1,800. I should have done the calculation earlier, but we're just gonna do that right now. 1,880. And then I had a protein shake. So that's gonna be 1930 and about 112. And then I had 2 PB&J sandwiches, which is about 420 calories there. So that's gonna put me at 2350. And it has 6 grams of protein, so it's gonna put me at 124 grams of protein. I probably need to drink a shake right after this while I'm editing the video, just so I can get up in protein. But that's what we're gonna do. And I am pretty excited for tomorrow. Oh, another thing I recently started doing was coming up with a quote for the day to sort of close out everything. And for today, in relation to functional fitness, strength is not just measured in pounds lifted, but in the fluidity which you move through life's challenges. Embrace functional fitness, for it's the key to a life lived powerfully and with purpose. Till next time, y'all.